Hey guys, welcome back. Solana Gaming updates. So much happening this week, so much. We did have on the Friday night, of course, a big 2-hour AMA, not AMA, 2-hour Friday night live, and so many good people coming on stage. Obviously, I had a few too many beers towards the end of the show, but we had some awesome stuff. I've clipped that down into an hour video with timestamps. That was the first time I've done that, so it was a bit of learning for me. And let me get my screen on. That was a really big learning, and I very much take appreciation of the crowd, the videographers and that we have doing work at Grape. So let me swap over to a channel. We have started a Solana Gaming channel in Grape, and the whole reason behind this was to get people to help me doing the research, because there's so much happening. I miss so much. I try my best to get things out there, but we've got so many projects that are launching, and I've got such an awesome community, and people have jumped in and are going ham and tongs with it, and it is good. Super impressed. I'd like to thank the crowd that came out Friday night. Of course, we had some awesome people, and please, it's timestamped. Go and have a bit of a look. So we have Defi Land. They did a little bit of an update through the week. There was issues with it showing up with in the windows. It was coming up as a problem. I believe that's been fixed now. They came out with additional additions to the number of like petting animals, collecting rocks, all that kind of stuff. So nothing hardcore, but I think they've got something coming out soon that is going to be doing more of different mini games, and potentially maybe some orca pools or something like that. But I do expect to see big things from those guys. I've loved what's come out, and they are certainly working through there. I get in every now and again and say a quick hello. I really wish I could spend more time in there. But Aurory, they launched their information this week. There's a medium out. You can see here, IDO. They're going to be doing a very similar to Mango Markets IDO, where they open a pool. You put in for a set amount of that pool for the token supply. Now, during the sale, 7% of the total supply, so it's 7 million tokens, will be auctioned in an IDO reusing the program developed by Mango Markets. So my opinion on this is I think people are probably going to ape in without doing the real study to it. They've got a fairly good amount of information in here, and I do like it. I like they've given people at least 5 to 6 days before launching this information out. 1 day ago. Yeah, so it was, it's not till the 21st. I'm recording this as the 17th, I believe. So get out there, have a look at the tokenomics. 100 million total supply. There's games out there that are doing 10 billion. So that seems like a low amount. This will be 7% of the total supply. There's going to be a lot trading at the start. I personally went into the Parrot PRT, and I put in some money there and bought tokens at the end of the first part. Was 4.1 cents, I think it was, and they went down to under 2 cents. They're under 2 cents at the moment. So you really got to take care when doing things like this. Don't ape in. Do a bit of research. Go and do some information diving. Ask people that are smarter than me, and you might get great information. This is the kind of stuff that I'm trying to develop at Grape, that we can get more people doing write-ups that I can refer to, put links down, and give people a little bit of information, compare it to what games, to what tokens, because this is real money. There is going to be a free-to-play version of the game, of course. So, there is an opportunity to be able to use coins to buy and help yourself in the game. So it goes by 48 hours, you put money into the pool. Then at the end of that 48 hours, you get to see exactly how much money's in there. And in the next 24 hours, you can withdraw your funds if you don't think that it's the right fit for you. Now, what happens is sometimes whales put a shitload of money in it and scare people off, and then they possibly remove that money at the end. There's funny buggers. It's a really interesting platform style release, and I think this will get them a shitload of capital into the game, which will equate out into productions and making it quicker. Let's have a little bit of their look at their gameplay. This is actually my second take on this video, so I've just watched this about 5 minutes ago, and I can keep talking while it is. It doesn't look super hardcore. I thought their battle mechanics for the 3 versus 3 PvP looked a bit better to me. But as for a launch, I think it's going to be a very hyped up one. It's interesting to see so many different games doing so many different styles of launches, and they've gone with the Mango Markets variation. So I think they'll raise a lot of money. You want to be careful. If you have an Aurorian, then I think you have some kind of access to coins via your DAO, and of course you'll have to do more research into that. I can only point the way. I don't own an Aurorian. I think they're just under 30 Solana at the moment. So they're really hardcore. Like I said, I kind of prefer the graphics and gameplay explanations we saw. Now you should be able to find out as well. They will be launching one more video. So I did try and get this preloaded, but she's giving me grief. So this is Project Seed. And Project Seed, I'm just going to turn my volume down a bit. Project Seed, I think, are very close with Aurory in launch times. I don't know if they're still Indonesian or Philippines, but it's a very Arabian Nights kind of Persian sands type look. Now you have to excuse the graphics for me. I am on pretty dog shit internet, unfortunately. They've produced a lot. They're putting out a lot of information, or just small clips along the way. Very hard. I did go into their Discord. They had a community. They want community managers. Well, every game is hiring pretty much. There's so many things exploding that the games, pretty much everyone is hiring, and there are ways to be able to get into them early and potentially make some money, potentially find a crowd of people that might match your playstyle, your lifestyle, have a bit of a laugh. But same thing with Aurory. Maybe not as big, but they've got a lot of big partners, really, really big partners. And it's funny to see that Selenium is still on there. They were on the launch listing, but for some reason they're not anymore. So I don't know whether that was just a delay or how that's changed. But I'm hoping this video has got a bit more download at the moment. There is no YouTube for this, so I couldn't download it. Genopets. Genopets was a funny one. They launched on FTX. And then this morning they changed over to, not changed over, but they also launched on Solana. And they started around 10 Solana, I believe. And they've been selling for up to 22. Let's have a look at some of the sales that they're selling. So you see 2 hours ago, 2 hours, 2, 3, 3, 4. So they've done just under 700 sold trading volume. Now this is going to be, there's only 1,000. They're never reproducing these eggs again. I'd like one. I saw they had listed on FTX at 7 Solana. I thought, oh no, fuck that, I won't do it. But then I thought about it, I thought, oh shit, I'll go and buy one. And then there was none. Obviously they're moving over to here. But only 1,000. There's only 69 on the auction house at the moment. So I'm keeping my eyes on it. I'm not going to spend 18, 19, but I would love to play the game when it comes out. Move to earn. I think it's a super smart platform idea. And it's going to onboard so many different people to the system. The missus, she wants to play it. And one of the boys are probably going to play her character or something in the game. You know, like it's a way that you can do it. And I don't want to show the video of its low quality because these guys have super, super awesome graphics on their website, on their gameplay. The demo's been out for ages. You can go in and mint a demo and actually start seeing it. So I do want to go and watch this myself, and I'm not going to do it on dogshit graphics. But they've just did a entry for the hackathon. I didn't actually know they were in hackathon. So I've got 4 hackathons on here to talk about. Zoolana was one I did a deep dive for this week. And they did a free launch October 15th at 7 p.m. I believe it was, free. So you went on to Magic Eden. There was, I think, 2,550 free ones. The rest of them were used for marketing, and 200 for their first 200 Zanis. They also did a link up with Kaiju, and 100 of those got in as well. Now, I've got selected the Fire Obsidian. There's a reason I've got that selected is this is their rarity. So on the day, there was, for me, it was day, of course, 4 rarities of these. There was 3 pictures, 4 rarities, and that actually shows like the starting zones of the 3 different tribes. So by getting a free one of this, it gives you a 2% chance for a free alpha drop come November. You know, 5% chance here, 20% chance here. And if you get the Fire Obsidian, isn't it? Still learn some of the names. If you get the Fire Obsidian, you actually get guaranteed Alpha Edition NFT with a LCD display. Like, that's awesome. I'm watching the prices. I like the game. It's hard to say I like the game. I love the game concept. I love what they're building. I love how they're going for community over, doing spamming to it. They're doing so many story contests. They're doing a lot of gaming contests. They had Hangman last night. They've done poker. I know they interact with their crowd. And I chose Nor, which are within the ruins. So I'm hotly keeping my eyes open on these. 4.7 Sol. That'll get you a free NFT. It's actually, you know, like if that comes under 4, I'll probably consider it. But really cool launch system. It's a way that they've managed to get a little bit of fundraising because they're getting some fees from the sales. It's a way that people that have early adopted into the game are managing to get some real money out of it. If they choose to sell paper hands, I went and got myself. I paid 0.3 Sol each for each one of the posters. And so that gives me a 6% chance all up come game time, you know, like it's just one of those things. So I did have John from Gamerplex on Friday night. And they've got a launch. They did a ignition launch. Hold on. That has downloaded for me. So they were on ignition as well. And this is, I believe, their presentation for the ignition. This is a Perth DJ as well. So John's very big in the Telegram, Australia. They've got a blog for Solana. Solana X blog, might be. Really wanting to get dirty and do a decent AMA with him. We are working on that. They've got 3 games on their platform. Download it most of the way. Just checking the downloading bar there. This isn't a high quality either. I just download it 480p. It does go further on their upload. And I know for it's based on the Tesla truck. John got me on stream Friday night. I had several beers by that stage. I can't wait for some of these games to start coming out. Someone did say to me last night, I'm talking a lot more about these games and I'm not actually playing games anymore. So he was right, you know, like it's very hard for me to get the time, but there's also waiting on these Solana games. I do think November's going to be a pretty big month. Pick out scraps there. I'm guessing they're going to be fungible tokens. You'll put those scraps together and build your NFTs. Maybe you might use it towards making ammo. So that will be on YouTube there, Solex Ventures. Let's, I haven't subscribed, hello. So, Solex Ventures, that's for the gamers. Now, let's look at the next one, was Solcery. I did an AMA with Jama from Solcery, what was it, 4 weeks ago or something? Awesome dude, awesome dude. This is for their second game. Now, I know there's no volume for this. They chose to go with writing, and I asked why they went with, why they chose to write over down the bottom. And it was just because they were super hard with the hardcore on the timelines and getting everything done. And I think that's part of the reason why Ignition extended, was there were so many teams that were under the pump. So they've actually created a second game with their tools on their platform. And they talk about, you can't probably read that because of my camera. So what they're talking about here is getting NFTs and adjusting the NFTs with their suite of tools and giving them power or ability to do something within a game. So this is going to be a platform that's going to give you utility to just PFPs, and you're going to be able to use them in games. And it does talk about, you see here, is adding damage to it. Now, I did watch this myself last night. He's uploaded a higher quality today. So you see he's picking some of his NFTs. He must have bought some Metabase. Metabase I need to follow up on. That was the doing the comic series, and they've got a lot of hype from the community. They talk about putting auto transactions on for the game at the start. It was on DevNet. I think they've taken it down for their Solcery application, for the Ignition application. Let's get into some of the game. So this is something it's interesting to see here. Talks about using auto approvals with the game. So if you play a game of cards that has 10 actions, that's 10 microtransactions. I mean, Solana's super fucking awesome, but obviously we need to be careful with that. We need to start working it out. How much is it going to cost us for a game as to return and stuff? These are bits of information you've got to start thinking about. I love Solcery as a platform, as an idea. They talk about wrapping things as well, and it was also in my, let's call it, career in my YouTubing. It was my first interview, so that's why there is definitely a personal feeling to the team for me. I'm so keen to see that. That's a one on. That's just a single player game. That one, Solcery, for their second one. So their first game is a 1v1. Their second game is a single player. So it was really cool. Now, SolCypher, again, this video hasn't downloaded, but I'm going to play the start to it. And this is going to be a platform that's out there to challenge people with riddles and quests, and even changing opaqueness on pictures and stuff like that to be able to get possible answers. And I was very interested with this because there's so many possibilities of how this can go into cross collaborations with completely different projects. But at the same time, it looks to be a fun single player game, and it's starting on the 24th. I'd like to do an AMA with SolCypher. Very Harry Potter-y sort of intro music. Please tell me I've got a... yeah.
Welcome to the Old Castle, the first of many rounds of mystery created by SolCypher. In this web-based P2E game, players compete in a race to solve challenging puzzles, and those who win are rewarded in the form of Sol and NFTs. In the first round, only 10 players can win a portion of the prize pool. Those who solve a puzzle first receive a special NFT, and any player who completes all the ciphers gets an NFT that grants them access to something much larger. Alright, let's take...
Alright, so I actually didn't pick that up in the first couple of times I've looked at the video. So if you complete all of it, you get an NFT. If you complete it first, you get a special NFT. Now, it's a total prize pool that starts at 10 Solana, and you're going to see very quickly...
game. We can now see basic info of the game, like
current
time
prize,
remaining,
I'll start at 10.
Total winners of the pool, and the current prize. To get started, let's connect with our Phantom wallet. We'll be prompted to connect, and when that's done, we'll be asked for a signature request. This effectively logs us into the system and creates our user account. Now, we've entered the Old Castle, and we're ready to start solving the mysteries.
I'm going to leave this for you guys to go and experiment and have a look through it, because it's a video worth watching in full, and then probably stopping, thinking, and re-watching it. There's a lot of cool information. I'll try and leave a link in the Discord. I always try to add these links in the Discord, but at the same time, sometimes I do forget. So otherwise, ping me, put the questions in down below. Don't be afraid to do that. But it's a game that's going to also have ways of purchasing hints and codes. There's going to be time restrictions, I believe, and limits to how many times you can do that functionality. But what that's going to do is that's going to add to this prize pool. So it's going to mean that the team gets a little bit more. The team's taking 10% fees. The crowd, the 10 winners, I believe it was for this particular one, is, you know, it's more prizes. So it's really cool to see different gamified versions of things, and I'm fully excited for this game, and I will try to, what's the 24th for me? 7 days. That'll be a weekend, I think, maybe, hopefully. So if that's the case, then I'll be doing it. So Eizper Games, I really don't know how to pronounce this, but these guys launched on the 21st. This isn't a super deep dive into it because obviously I can't do it all of there, but I wanted to follow up with this because this is something that actually does look very cool. There is a way to register in the game, and I did look at it. I've registered. It's going to be a mobile RPG, so ARPG, I should say, action role-playing game. So some of the gameplay graphics look cool. There's monsters and stuff. It wasn't a big write-up and addition to it, but it's just, you know, popping out there in the community to say, you know, we're still here, we're still building. It was really interesting to see. This was part of the questionnaire. What is your age? 17 or younger, 18 to 22. They're doing some research into the crowd. This was part of their early register. So, you know, like I put down my answers and stuff like that, but I wasn't in the category. I was just put in 36 or older. So, you know, us old boys still play games too. But it does look like it's an Asian team building it. I'd like to know more about the team. I'd love to do a deep dive on it once I get time. I've gone and said hello on the Discord. So good team so far from what I've seen. And yeah, very cool. Dole Society. So Dole Society, I did do an AMA with Marsupio Jones last week. Good fun. I really enjoyed it. Their mint was on the 13th, I'd like to say. Obviously, they started at 1.75 Solana. And what was really interesting was they changed their mint mid-mint. So that was the early NFT mint. So I believe some kind of funder for the team because they haven't done VC funding that I'm aware of. And it was 1,000. They changed it from 1.75 to 1 Sol and then airdropped $1 to every person that bought one at 1.75. So, you know, you divide that cost and you got 2. So it was still an early supporter. It was a very interesting process. And I'm really keen to get an off interview later on down the track just to see why the team chose to change and that. And they have mentioned that on their socials. They were very open and honest in their Discord. And this was part of their trailer for the upcoming competition they're going to have in the first quarter of next year. Again, go and watch this live. The graphics is much better live. It does get better. Honeypot tournament. So this is going to be for NFT holders only. There's only going to be a total of 5,000 NFT holders. We've done the handout for the prizes, just waiting for confirmation from the players that they've received it from Grape. But we handed out, I think it was 8 NFTs on the AMA. So super good interview, fun, all on camera. So it's going to be a knockout competition. So I really like what they're planning on doing for a couple of reasons. Obviously, again, I had a live interview, spent a lot of time talking, chatting, and it was fun. So they are going to be some kind of a casino type where they're going to be eventually adding in poker, blackjack, all that kind of stuff. But Clash of Dolls is going to be a 1v1 player. So you're playing against other people, and it's going to be first to 11. There's rules and stuff on that, on how you flip, on how the cards change up the system and stuff. The gameplay explanation is good enough at this stage because you can get a bit of an understanding to it. It's not a flipping project. So realistically, you can see all these changing these dolls. It doesn't matter what they've got, bar the background color, because they've got a system where they're going to be doing royalties in effect from the games that are played. So you don't even have to play and you're going to be earning money holding one of these dolls. So what does that mean for the Americans and the SEC? I don't know. DYOR, it's super important to understand what you're buying in an NFT because there's going to be all types of different problems potentially down the track. So I bought $2. I did $2 on the mint, and then they got turned into $4. So I was lucky enough to get one of 4 different courts. I'll probably end up going to buy 2 myself later on down the track once they launch on a marketplace. So some of the dolls, the artwork was cool, but again, for me, it's a different kind of utility. I like that. I want to see the game. We may be able to get the game live on Grape. I'm super hoping that we can. ChainMyth. Now, there was a thing for ChainMyth I wanted to talk about and show. They have launched their first God It's going to be a Indian cultured game based on gods and goddesses. And I'll just show this one first and just hope that it has downloaded. Nope. I love the detail that goes into this, and I'm really, again, apologetic that I can't show it in proper detail. But you see there's lots of little things based, the snake on his shoulder, the two tridents, the belt. All of this stuff comes into what the culture and design of the god is. And they've got a good explanation here, but it goes into further detail on their Discord. And I'm going to link over to that in a second. Now, that's the first reveal out of 14 gods, and I really am impressed with these guys, and I talk as though a bit. This is Wucon for their characters. Now, this will be one of the free-to-play characters. Where is it? This will be one of the free-to-play characters, and they've got some really good variations of it. So they've done an art contest, and to see people drawing things out, I do love some of the artwork. But 88 following, 3,500, been in September, so they're very newish to Twitter. So, you know, a couple months at all, but they've only got 3,000 followers at the moment. And if we switch over to, where's my Discord? Let's go down to ChainMyth. There was a few good tweets here, and announcements. They do talk about how they're not doing invite contests. They're not doing things for the first 100 members. They want to organically grow and have competitions and things like that. But they're talking about the golden ticket. So I filled in for this myself. And to fill in for the golden ticket, it's not going to be a discounted price. I think it explains it there. So how the golden ticket raffle system work. You'll be minting a golden ticket for $180 in value. So they'll work that out based on Solana when it's time. On the day of the public sale, you will be claiming Myth NFT using the launch pass. There will be no difference in mint value between a golden ticket and a public sale, just a guaranteed slot. We are scheduling for the golden ticket mint to happen on the 17th of October. So that... Oh, hello. Is it tonight? Okay, I read that. What is that? All right. SGT, Singapore time, isn't it? So tentative schedule for now, but waiting for team confirmation. It is everybody's responsibility to do their due diligence to avoid any scams. Make sure you understand what you're minting. Spend 10 minutes to understand about the project and why the NFT is different. Appreciate. Below is a link. I've done that. I've filled that in. You can only get 2 per wallet. So they don't want people aping in and taking all of these and then just flipping the NFTs. They want to have, you know, the value out of people getting in and doing it. So I do like, there's a couple of things they talk about how they want people spending time and reading what you're doing. So they're very concentrated on trying to make sure that the community is learning. Now, it doesn't mention the 5,000 here, but they're saying the first 5,000 members that come in are what they consider early adopters to the game. So really cool one to keep your eyes open on. Spend a lot of time talking to Zoe and in the channels. This is an unresearched list, so you can see here I've got over 12 games and I've had more added in since I've written out this. This is one of the reasons why I've started the channel on Grape. This is one of the reasons why I need help. There's so many things here. You know, Shell Races have launched. I believe Amoebits has launched this morning, is launching today. Pixels has launched. DGen Kart Club, I think, has launched. There's a lot of things on here that have launched, and I want to try and get that information out to you guys early, and I need the crowd to help. But I hope I've helped. I hope I have shed some light on some of these projects, some of the news coming out, and as always, thank you, Mother, for the rabbits.